Hi, it's Dave Eastbrook. Um, so a lot of people have asked me, how is it that I'm able to be on Facebook all day? Don't you have a job? Don't you work? Don't you have clients? Do you? How do you make a money? How do you make a living? Well, the fact of the matter is, um, we're still in the my consulting firm is still in the sort of the startup bootstrap phase, and we haven't had the need to get office space yet. Kind of like working at home anyway. It's where the refrigerator is, and cat boys here. So, any rate, so during the day, I have a lot going on. I'm on the phone a lot, and you know, doing a bunch of work stuff, and I have the TV going. I'm sitting in the living room. I have an office in the basement, but I like it up here in the living room better. I have a big screen TV. I've got a fireplace and a coffee table with my laptop on it. It's just fine. I got all my devices, which I don't know how to use yet. And so throughout the day, as I'm working, I have Facebook up and I plug away on that. Of course, I go a lot of places. I have meetings and I go to, run around, do stuff. Got to go to Staples, get stuff. I like working for myself. Well, technically, I work for the firm. I don't work for myself, really. I set my own schedule for the most part. I mean, clients kind of do too. But anyway, so that's what I do. I do business development consulting. You've heard me talk about my band, Templar. That's a work in progress. Still working on that. Writing music, writing lyrics. So it's kind of a side project. Approaching that like I do any startup. I specialize in startups. I work with, that's what my consulting firm does. We do business development consulting for startups that, that's complicated. I won't go into it. At any rate, so the Templar is actually a business. It's a company. It's set it up as a company, and there's some business stuff that I have to do around that, it's not like it's not like it used to be back when I did it before, back in the 80s and 90s, where you just kind of get a bunch of guys together and say, hey, let's do a band and hope for the best and sort of gig around and stuff. And I had a pretty good run. I had a great run in Buffalo. Boy, I had a heck of a run in Buffalo. And then when I was in graduate school in Montana, I used to play out in Seattle, that whole Seattle, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Spokane, that whole loop there, doing heavy metal. Really great stuff. And then the grunge thing hit. Some of you might remember in the early, 91, 92, whatever it was. Grunge hit, and all of a sudden they didn't want guys with Jackson guitars and Marshall amps. Although I wasn't using a Marshall at the time I was playing. What was I playing? I got a Dean Markley stack, back when Dean Markley still made big amps. They don't make big amps anymore. I wish I still had that thing. I played Ibanez and Jackson guitars, and we did the whole thing. We weren't like a hair metal band, but we were kind of we were seriously slamming. We slammed heavy. Mixture of cover and original stuff. I like the original stuff better, but when you're playing for money, a lot of times they want to hear stuff they know, and so you take a gig and they say, well, you gotta play to the house and play what they want you to play. And I wasn't really in it. I wasn't thinking I was going to be a rock star or anything like that. I was just doing it for fun. I was in graduate school. I was a full-time graduate student, and I knew that music wasn't going to be my career. And so Templar, here I am. I'm in my late 40s, and Templar is a dream come true. Basically, I'd always set out. My plan had always been that at some point, when I hit my late 40s or thereabouts, I'd finance my music habit, which is what I'm doing now. So I have the firm, Eastbrook Business Development Partners. Judy and I are the Eastbrook partners, and we own that firm, and it's doing really well and all that stuff. But the band is, I'm approaching it like a business, and marketing and all that stuff. So I'm doing a lot of this stuff that is the package that you have to have these days. And the music stuff, there's no music up yet, and I haven't even really found all the players that I want to work with yet. That's proving rather difficult. I have a lot of conditions to be a part of this band. There's a lot of things you got to be prepared to do, and sort of the level of seriousness you have to take it. And it's a sober band, so that's puts a lot of people off, I guess, but that's the way it is. So, at any rate, the hope had been, the plan had been, that the album, I'd have an album ready in June. Don't think I'm going to make that. Between the snow and business with a consulting firm, I just haven't had any time to write any music, and I'm starting to write some now. A lot of the lyrics are going to be in French. There's a whole reason for that, and I'll explain it in future. But so at any rate, that's just This is kind of like what I was doing with the Love Project, but it's just me updating myself. Running long. Take care. Bye.